right, you guys, we're gonna start with hundreds. So hundreds are one of our bread and butter exercises in Pilates. We start a lot of our mat workouts with hundreds. They're gonna really target your core. At the beginning of the semester, hundreds might be hard for you to get all the way through. By the end of the semester, hopefully by the end, you're feeling like, I could do that longer, okay? So this is one of the places you're gonna see progress. All right, we have different levels to start out with hundreds, and we start all of them from our base position. So the first thing to do to get in base position is lay down on your mat, like Denny and Nathan are doing, and they're gonna make sure their spine is nice and long, that they can feel the vertebrae pressing against the mat, and they're gonna draw their belly button in towards their spine. So that's called navel to spine. That's something you're gonna hear us cue a lot, okay? So you wanna feel like you're kind of hollowing out your belly. If you can see how Nathan's shirt just comes right in here, he's drawing his belly in, activating those deep intrinsic muscles of the lower abdominals, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is choose our leg position. Denny is gonna start here in tabletop. This is level 2, okay? So her knees, she's putting her hands up right here, so right where her palms are meeting her knees, and her legs are nice and parallel to the ground. This is a level 2. Nathan's starting out at level 1 here, so he just has his feet on the floor, okay? Still drawing in those abs. Even though they're not doing anything, their abs should already be working and engaged. You guys feel that? Okay. The next level is level 3. I'm gonna have Denny straighten those legs up. So she's pointing her toes. In Pilates, we're precise. That's one of our 6 Pilates principles is precision. So when we're doing these movements, we're gonna pay attention to things like if our toes are pointed, okay? So Jenny's toes are nice and pointed up to the ceiling. She's squeezing those inner thighs together. She's squeezing her belly in nice and strong, and her legs are pointed up at the ceiling. Nathan's gonna take his legs up to the ceiling, and then he's gonna drop them down to about a 45-degree angle. You might even feel his inner thighs squeezing together a little bit. His belly's drawn in, and I also want you to press those shoulder blades down and anchor yourself into the mat. So that's a principle we call anchoring, where we want to feel like our torso and our core is like poured into cement, and we're so strong in the core, so everything else we're doing is coming from this really strong foundation and base, okay? All right, with their shoulders pressed down, their chin slightly tucked in, that's called a cervical nod. We're gonna take a deep breath in, let that belly expand, and then they're gonna lift their head and shoulders up off the mat and start to pump those arms. So we're gonna inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. And I want you to pay attention to what you hear. Do you hear that breath? That's how I want you to breathe. Okay, so if you have roommates at home, if you have a spouse or kids, they should be making fun of you for how you're breathing, okay? Because I want to hear it. If you breathe the way they're breathing, you're activating those muscles of your core more than if you're just breathing shallowly. So you're inhaling for 5 pumps, exhaling for 5 pumps. Inhaling and exhaling. And for hundreds, we're gonna continue this movement for 100 beats. All right? When you're done, you're gonna draw those knees. Jenny's got her legs extended. She's gonna draw those knees into her chest. Nathan can draw those knees into his chest as well. Take a stretch through the legs. I like to extend into a nice long stretch after to stretch out my abdominal wall. Feel the strength of the core in that stretch. Feel that belly nice and flat. Feel how strong it feels. And take a deep breath. That's your hundreds.